class. As you completed the formative assessment on examination, I hope majority of the students of 10th standard attended formative 1 examination through online process. But till several students are not submitted books in the school. I think you will submit your books as soon as you possible. So today, before we get into the details of our previous chapter, as we started the chapter Production and Employment, before we discuss in a continuation manner of this chapter, let us discuss about that in the academic year 20 and 21, which means now which academic year you are studying, 10th class students. In this academic year, due to COVID-19 of this pandemic conditions, syllabus of social studies in 10th standard removed 29%. So let us see which lessons are removed from the social studies syllabus. Here the population lesson from the paper 1 as a part of the economy, the population was removed, and settlements and migration also, this was the chapter removed. Rampur, a village economy, globalization. In paper 1, 4 lessons: the population, settlements, migrations, Rampur, a village economy, globalization. In paper 1, these are the 4 lessons was removed. In paper 2, national liberation movements in the colonies. National liberation movements in the colonies. And last chapter, post-war world and India. Post-war world and India. These are the 6 lessons are removed from the 19th lesson. Post-war world and India also removed. These are the 6 lessons from paper 1 and 2 are removed from the syllabus. And you have to note that these are the lessons where the decision was taken by the SCERT, State Council of Educational Research and Training, who edit these books. They have removed these lessons. And now you may get doubt in your mind, sir, will these lessons comes in exams? These are the 6 lessons will not be given in the formative assessments, in the summative assessments, even though in the board exams also these are the lessons will not be given. It was clearly mentioned in the circular of SCERT that syllabus will not be the part of internal assessment. Internal assessment means 4FS what we write. In internal assessment also these are the 6 lessons will not be given by teachers, or in the board exams, in the summative exams also will not be given. These are the 6 lessons. And the year end assessments, even in the board exams also these are the lessons will not be given. Then what you will do about these 6 lessons? These are the 6 lessons will be given by social teachers as project only. These are the 6 lessons are your projects only. Not these are the 6 lessons will not come in the FA1s, in FS, or in the summative in the board exam. It was clear by the SCERT. It was this decision was taken completely based on the very less working days we have in this academic year. It is very difficult to complete the syllabus. In the view of that, this decision was taken by the SCERT. So you have to remind in your minds that these are the 6 lessons will be given to write as project only. And you no need to study much and more. These 6 lessons. Just these 6 lessons you have to prepare as your project only. When I will give in the upcoming online session classes. Now you no need to commit. You now no need to ask any question regarding of these 6 lessons in upcoming online classes. I will give you from some of these 6 chapters. Which chapters you have to write as your project. Is it clear? Okay. Now let us see the lesson production and employment as we started this chapter before our FA exams, and now we studied, we studied what is per capita, what is GDP, what is primary sector, what is secondary sector, what is tertiary sector. These are all the things we studied in the previous online class. Now, as a part of the production and employment, as we stopped near the point of view, title is the change in the importance of sectors, value of goods and services, production and employment of people. Here, the overviewing of the things completely production and employment, where we can see the lot of amount of the production, there only the employment also we can see. Production is which comes in the primary sector, there service sector and tertiary sector or the secondary sector industrialization will be automatically in the good manner we can find. So far we know how the size of GDP has increased over the year as more and more goods and services are produced. It is essential to know how this increase took place and what kind of activities contributed more to this growth of GDP. It has been noted that many of the now developed countries had agriculture and other allied activities as the most important contributor of GDP during the initial stages of development. The majority, if we take the example of any country, which countries are basically included in a good calculated GDP, that countries are well developed in their agriculture, where a country has primary sector is in a good manner, that country can develop automatically, that country's GDP value will be in good condition only, we can expect here. As the methods of the farming changed and the agriculture sector began to prosper, it produced much more food than before. Many people could now take up other activities as essential food requirements were met by other producers. There were increasing number of the craft persons and traders. Buying and selling activities increased many times, further increasing the demand for goods and services. Besides, rulers employed large number of people as administrators, army, etc. However, at this stage, in an overall context, most of the goods produced were from the agriculture and related sector, and most people were also employed in this sector. Majority part of the people are employed in the agriculture sector, it was saying in. Yes, obviously, but compared to previous time, majority part of the people are in agriculture sector only, minority part of the people in the service sector and tertiary sector. Secondary sector and tertiary sector. But compared to present census, majority part of the people in the service sector, minority part of the people in the agriculture sector, like primary sector. It means where the impact is causing, because there is no such facilities which are given to the service sector, like in service sector doctors will come, like here one example is given, administrators, army, etc. These are the people will come under the service sector only. But where the facilities will be given in equal manner by the government of India to these people who are in different categories in sectors, two sectors like private and government sectors. The government sector people have the full of facilities and allowances, and private sector people do not have, even though to the agriculture, primary sector also under a suffrage only. Recall what you have read about the industrial revolution in the earlier classes. As new methods of the manufacturing were introduced, factories came up and started expanding. Those people who had earlier worked on the farms now began to work in the factories in large numbers. People began to use many more goods. There was mass production by factories at much lower rates, and these goods reached the markets all over the world. For these countries, industrial production gradually became the all over the world. For these countries, industrial production gradually became the most important sector, both the total production of goods and services and also in the employment of people. Hence, over time, a shift took place. This means that the importance of the sectors had changed. The industrial sector became the domination sector, and the importance of the agriculture sector both for employment and production declined, which means where we can compare, where the example was initiated by the industrial revolution, where the people had to work for several large hours and how to receive very less wages, as the combined wages also given to the people meanwhile. But in the present situation, the service sector in the industrialization is providing all the good facilities, and people are also receiving the good amount of the facilities, like where the people are working in the industries according to the labor law instructions. Here they have the PF facility, they have the ESI, employee state insurance facility, they have the paid leaves. These all the facilities are given by present times. But it was a recall what you have read about the industrial revolution in the earlier classes, as new methods of the manufacturing were introduced. New methods were introduced by the people's demands and people's protests, and people's massive movements are changed here in the industrialization, broader industrialization change, but which was also impactfully affecting on the primary sector. As it is in the continuation manner, in the past 50 years, there has been a further shift from industry to serve the sector for developed countries. The service sector has become the most important sector in terms of the total production. Most of the working people have also made a shift and are now employed in the service sector, and most of the production activities are those of the services and not manufactured goods. This is the general pattern observed in the developed countries. Is a similar pattern observed in the India too, which means where the people are drastically increased in the several activities, like where the people are demanded in the secondary sector. The secondary sectors services are increased, and in secondary sectors quantity also increased. We can say that here, even to that probably happened in India too. Look at the following two pie charts on the next page. The contribution of the various activities to gross domestic product has been presented for two financial years, 1972 to 73 and 2011 and 12. The circle or the pie represents the GDP in the given year. GDP is made up of production from these three sectors: agriculture, industry and service. Service in the term are seen to be comprised of three types, which means here in these three sectors only, here we can compare the primary sector, secondary sector and service sector. These are the sectors where we can compare to the previous years. These are the three sectors also where we can find you may notice these two pie charts. Here in the year 1972 and 73. Observe this pie chart here. 43% is agriculture, 22% is industries, which means secondary sector, and other sectors like 12% and 8% trade, hotel, transport, communication, finance, insurance. These are the sectors. But here in 1972-73, in this year, 43% is in the primary sector only, which means what we can expect here, the majority part of the sector is in, majority part of the quantity is in agriculture sector, in primary sector only we can predict here. Even though when we compare this, second stage is service sector, here industry, second stage is secondary sector, industries, and third finally service sector is what about 45, 65, which means 35 is remaining in the service sectors people are working. Majority is in agriculture, in primary sector only. Like compared to pie chart with 1972 to 73, in 2011 and 12, the agriculture sector is only about 16% only. Drastically agriculture is in our times now compared as 11-12, which means according to previous census, the agriculture sector, primary sector is decreased rapidly, and the whole trade, hotels, transport, communication was in the top range, which means 27%, or 27% is in the 27% of the people are in the service sector only. The majority part of the India's employees are employed in which sector? Service sector only, according to the 2011 and 12 pie chart we can say here. So this was the indication which was compared with the 1972 and 73, 2011 and 12. During the 39 years period, the output share of the agriculture sector has fallen drastically. There was a small increase in the share of the industrial output in the GDP. In contrast to this, there is a tremendous increase in the share of the service activities. 2 out of 3 subsectors of the service activities have expanded, which means the service sector is drastically increased here. Next title we will see, which is located in the page number 35. Employment, the working life in India. Employment, the working life in India. The gross domestic product of a country has a close relationship with the total number of working people in that country. In every country, as population increases, it is essential that the country provides opportunities for those who are looking for work. Unless people get job to earn, how do they get food and other fulfill their requirements? According to the census of India 2011, out of 121 crores of the persons in India, 460 million people are workers. Example, people engaged in some productive activities. The following table shows some basic facts about workers in India. Agriculture sector 67, in the rural, in villages, in urban just 9 males. Females are more in the agriculture sector who are working as agriculture sector laborers, and all workers 49. Industrial sector, in industrial sector we can see the males more, even in the urban, in the rural areas, in service sector also, in urban areas more, in rural areas less, because in urban areas we can find several industries. In urban areas there are the males will work in the industries that we can notice here. According to that chart, what we can expect here, unfortunately in India, while there has been a change in the share of the 3 sectors in GDP, a similar shift has not taken place in the employment graph 3. So the share of the employment in 3 sectors in 1972 and 73 and 11 and according to the 2011 and 12 census, the agriculture sector continues to be the largest employer even now. Why didn't employment shift out of agriculture sector? It is because not enough jobs were created in the industry and service sector. Observe the graph in page number 30. Even the production of the industrial goods went up by more than 9 times during the period. Employment were up only by around 3 times. The same applies to the service sector. While production rose by more than 14 times, employment rose around the 5 times. As a result, more than half of the workers in the country are working in the agriculture sector, producing only 1/6 of the GDP. In contrast to this, the industry and the service sector produce 3/4 of the GDP, whereas the employ only about half the production of the workers. Does this mean that the workers in the agriculture are not producing as much as they could? Which means here are several things we can notice in this passage. According to population of our country, there are no sufficient jobs are created by the industries. The rapid competition was increased in industries in each and every field. So that was the lack of reason is that here the people are more and facilities are very less. So due to that, the service sector and the various sectors are rapidly which are decreased, and employment is the major problem where the people have to struck into the several sectors after the suitable or unsuitable sectors to them according to their professions, according to their education, according to their studies, but they have to feed their families. They were adjusted. It means that there are more people in the agriculture, but everyone may not be the fully occupied. So even if a few people move out, the production will not be affected. In this way, more number of people are engaged than the required in the agriculture. This is called as disguised employment, which means disguised employment. What is the disguised employment? So disguised employment, which means two things will come here. One is basically that was the activity where the people are working into the several categories, and the disgusting employment is that where a farmer has to work continuously. He do not have any retirement towards of his profession. However, he crossed the age 50 years, 60 years. He has the land, he should cultivate that his profession in continuation manner. So disgusting profession is that, disgusting employment is that, farming is the disgusting employment. We can see here and we can observe here. And suppose example, take two examples. Take the case of a small farmer Gayatri who owns about the 2 hectares of unirrigated land and depends only on rain and growing crops like the jowar and red gram. All five members of the family work on the plot throughout the year. Why they have now here else to go for work? You will see that everyone is working, none remains idle, but in the actual fact the labor's effects gets the divided. Each one is doing some work, but no one is fully employed. This is the situation of the people who are unemployment, where people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potential. This kind of the underemployment is hidden in contrast to someone who does not have a job and is clearly visible as an employment. Which means here what example is given here. Suppose one person has a 2 acres of land. He has about 2 acres of land, and his family complete the number of his family members is 6. But that 6 people are also now unemployed only. And now what they will do? They depends on the 2 acres only. All these 6 people will contribute that work whenever they have time, and they will go and work in the 2 acres of the fields only. It means it doesn't meet their potential, which means it doesn't meet their needs. 6 people on only 2 acres of land, their needs cannot be fulfilled by that 2 acres of land. That example was given imposing on the Gayatri. Supposing a landlord hires 1 or 2 members of the family to work on his land, and Gayatri's family is now able to earn some extra income through the wages, since you do not need 5 people to look after the small plot. 2 people moving out does not affect production on their farm. In the above example, 2 people may move to work in a factory or trade. Once again, the earnings of the family would increase, and they would also continue to produce as much from their land, which means they cannot get they cannot get affordable wages from this land. They need to suffer a lot, and they need to get, which means these are the family people. When they will divide into the several other works in service, in other activities, then the family will get the sufficient amount. There are lakhs of the farmers like Gayatri in India. This means that even if several people from the agriculture sectors are provided with the proper work, elsewhere agricultural production will not suffer. This incomes of the people who take up other work would increase the total family income. This underemployment can also happen in other sectors. For example, there are thousands of the casual workers in the service sectors in urban areas who search for daily employment. They are employed as the painters, plumbers, repair persons, and other doing odd jobs. Many of them don't find work every day. Similarly, we see other people of the service sector on the streets pushing a cart or selling something, where they may spend the whole day but earn very little. They are doing this work because they do not have better opportunities. That is the major reason here. Suppose a person who is selling something in the market, but he's spending a lot of time to sell his product, but he is earning very less due to he do not sell his product. This is because of the lack of employment opportunity only, we can say here. While here if we see the table which was given here according to the 2 pie charts, 1970-73 employment agriculture sector 74%, in 2011-12 just 16-19% only. Industries in 1970 in employment in 1972-73 is 11%, which means in 11-12 24-22%. However, the lack of reason is gross domestic product compared to the employment, and gross domestic product is rapidly, where the agriculture sector was drastically decreased. Here employment service sector activities are increased, gross domestic product was decreased here. While service sector has grown, all service sector activities are not growing equally well. Service sector in India employs many different kinds of the people at one end. There are a limited number of the services that employ highly skilled and educated workers. At the other end, there are a large number of workers engaged in the services such as small shopkeepers, repair persons, transport persons, etc. These people barely manage to earn a living, and yet they perform this service because not alternative opportunities for work are available to them. Hence, only a part of this sector is growing in important, which means only like the people who are in the shopkeepers, repair persons, the different activities like vehicle drivers. These are the people where they are working. Due to that reason only, where the agriculture sector is decreased, the service sector is increased. But the secondary sector, industrial sector will also not develop when the agriculture sector, when the primary sector is in the very less development manner, which means here we have to predict that the opportunities are seeking more to the people due to the lack of reason, lack of job opportunities, where the people are adjusting in the different activities of service sector, like repairers, shopkeepers, drivers. These are the professions are doing by the people. Organized and unorganized sector employment in India. Let us see in the next session of the online class. Thank you.